You know, guys, some of the things that are happening in this country are unbelievable. It is disturbing to see this level of criminality and the thought process that goes into committing such crimes. I saw a story on the news about a house that was discovered to be used for illegal mining. And I'm shocked that something like this could be executed. Maybe I'm naive. Maybe there are people that are used to these kind of stories. But personally, I am shocked that something like this could be done. So the backstory is that there is a house that was discovered in Northwest to be used for illegal mining. What basically happened is that there is a gentleman that has been arrested for allowing the illegal miners to dig a hole inside one of his homes to access a mining shaft underneath. How is it even possible? This is what came to my mind the first time I heard about this story. How is it even possible? And how did these people know that that bedroom specifically is gonna link them with the mining shaft underneath?
So 65-year-old men from the Northwest who allegedly allowed a group of illegal miners to use his bedroom in one of his houses as an entrance to a mine shaft at the nearby Kusalega mine has been arrested alongside his 31-year-old accomplice. The Northwest Police spokesperson, Lieutenant Colonel Amanda Funani, says the man was arrested in the early hours of Thursday at the Nkandla informal settlement near Kusalega 1 mine. Newsroom Africa, Zola Sholana is there for us and now joins us live. Zola, very good morning to you. I don't know, this sounds so fascinating. How was this able to have been done?
Well, Aldrin, that's what a lot of people are saying right now, thinking about the thought process that went to all of this. When you enter this yard, this is just a normal house, you know. One wouldn't expect to, or rather, one wouldn't expect that there could be activity happening in one of the rooms, a bedroom to be quite specific, Algin. Now, we will walk you through it so that you are able to see. In all these rooms that you see here, this is obviously bedrooms and they're all occupied, but this particular bedroom is allegedly used for illegal mining. Now, we are told that these miners that were arrested, about 6 miners, would resurface from this point. We understand that they are allegedly stealing copper cables from a nearby shaft, which is Kusalega shaft. Now, we have seen mine security guarding the premises because they believe that they are expecting to arrest more people, or rather more people are expected to resurface from this. There's a lot of activity here, as you can see that there is food, there's clothing items. So we are told that they would resurface, have their lunch here, and then would walk out using the front door of the house. Now, from what we understand,
So I think it's fair to say that the man rented the whole house to the Zamazamas because we know he doesn't live in that house. And you saw when the lady entered the home, it is a normal house. There is a kitchen, but in that kitchen you could see that there were some dishes. You could see even the living room. It was quite disorganized, showing that there are people that are living in that house. So the man did not only allow the illegal Zamazamas to access a mining shaft in his home with this hole, but I would actually argue that he rented the whole place to the Zamazamas. I would argue that he rented the whole place to the Zamazamas.
Algin, is that the van that they use to collect these cables that would obviously not be taken out using this entrance but the window right here. The van would park just outside of this window. And this activity has been happening for quite some time. Police haven't confirmed how long this has been happening. And we are told that even...
Man, it looks like it has been happening for a long time. It looks like it has been happening for a long time.
Neighbors could not really, see what is happening or suspect anything with regards to illegal activity that is happening here.
And okay, the neighbors say that, okay, we didn't see anything, or we could not actually suspect anything about what was happening in that house. But what did these people use to actually dig that hole? That hole? What did they use? What kind of machinery was used to dig that hole? And wasn't it making a lot of noise to actually make people suspicious about what is it exactly that is happening in that house?
We understand that the owner of the house is currently apprehended by the police and will be appearing in court. The family has also alleged that they've been receiving threats following this incident. But the premises are heavily guarded by mine security to ensure that if there's more people that will resurface from this, then they will possibly find themselves arrested. It's quite interesting, Aljan, when you think about it. You know, one would wonder, how did they even realize that that particular bedroom could possibly lead them to a mine shaft? The thought process, the negotiations, the talks between the relevant people or all the people that are involved in all of this. But we will find out more from the police as we will be talking to them shortly after this, Aljan.
And how common is it? How common is this? I'm asking to the people that are living in the mining towns, how common is this? I, for myself, live in a small town surrounded by the mines. And to be honest, I have never heard of anything like this. But if this man could be exposed for doing something like this, clearly this is something that people know. So how common is it? How common is it? And I'm also expecting the police to make more arrests, because clearly he is not the only person that is doing this. I can bet that he's not the only person that is doing this. There has to be other houses that are connecting with these mining shafts underneath.
Yeah, quite a shocker there, Zola, I have to say. Do we know, though, that what would have happened to alert authorities that there is this particular operation happening and it's happening at this particular house? Is it clear as yet?
Well, it's not really clear, Aljan, but what we are being told is that nearby people started suspecting, movement, irregular movement of people.
And when did the people start suspecting that movement? I think this would actually tell us about how long has this operation been happening. When did people start suspecting that there is something that is happening in that house? When did they start suspecting that?
Started suspecting, movement, irregular movement of people. You would understand that so far they've arrested less than 7 people, meaning that there would be a number of people that would be exiting this household. And of course, if you know the people that live here or the family that lives here, then when you see people that do not belong in this household, then you'll start wondering what could be happening inside. And now when you see a van that always makes its way to the other side, as we are being told that that's where they collected the copper using the other window, not the front entrance, then that raises a lot of eyebrows, from the community to say what could be possibly happening in this particular yard. And also, Aljan, you would understand that, Rustenburg is quite known for stories of illegal miners, and people can easily spot those people when they see them. You'd understand that not so long ago we were here covering a similar story where 2 illegal mine workers were stuck in one of the shafts. So what we are being told now by someone who asked to remain anonymous, as you'd understand, that anything that has to do with illegal mining has dangers attached to it. The person mentioned that they saw people that looked dusty in a sense, looking like they were, underground. And then they alerted the police to say there could possibly be something or some sort of activity that is happening in this place. And then police started monitoring this area. G4S security, including Sibanye Stillwater Securities on the ground, they are keeping a close eye on this household because they are hoping to see more illegal miners resurface using that big hole that we saw in that bedroom, Algin.
Yeah.
So is it possible that the neighbors, some of the neighbors were actually paid to look away? Is it possible? Because there must have been a lot of movement happening in that house. So is it possible that the nearby neighbors were actually given something to look away? Is it possible?
You just think about the engineering technicalities that are required to even excavate around that area, considering that you also have the informal settlement around it. Is it known, Zola, whether there are any other homes that could be of interest to authorities?
Well, it's still a bit early to confirm that, Algin, but after this one has been discovered, I can tell you that this has made mining security, including police, to be concerned about the possibilities of having more of these in this particular informal settlement. It's very close to Kwezi Shaft. It's close to other shafts as well that are under Sibanye Stillwater, which means that perhaps more investigations will go into this and try and see if there are other houses that are similar to this, where illegal miners are finding their way to different Sibanye Stillwater shafts.
What a discovery. Zola Sholane, thank you so much for making time for us, and she'll continue to give us an update on. So,
guys, this is insane, man. This is insane. This is one of those stories that actually makes you wonder about the level of criminality that is happening in the country. And there's a lot of work to be done if South Africa really wants to deal with this issue of criminality. Because again, if there were if people, some of the people actually saw a suspicious movement in that house, chances are, even if some of them wanted to contact the police and alert them about what has been happening, is that you look at the South African Police Service as an institution. This is an institution that is currently working right now to actually restore people's trust. But for the longest time, we have to admit that the South African Police Service, it was not an institution that people could actually trust. So I would argue that some of the people who wanted to alert the police about what was happening, they were actually scared that, no, what if we alert the police about what is happening, and the next thing we are the target, because we know about the stories of the police linking or leaking the information of the people that are tipping them to the same criminals. So there is a lot of work to be done to actually fight this issue of crime in the country. There is a lot of work to be done. There is a lot of work to be done. And I think this actually shines a spotlight on the South Africans that are helping people to destroy our country. You know, every time when we talk about this issue of the Zamazamas people, the first thing that people will say is that, no, you see this Lesotho nationals, you see the Zimbabweans, the Malawians, you see what these people are doing in the country. But stories like these actually make you understand that there are South Africans that are working hard to make sure that these people commit crimes. There are South Africans that are enabling people to destroy our country. There are South Africans that are working hard to ensure that these people, they destroy our country. And there are also South Africans that are also committing crimes too. But they know that most of the time when it comes to the issues of the Zamazamas, South Africans will not blame South Africans as much. They will just go back and start blaming other nationals. That's why I was expecting the Newsroom Africa to actually tell us about the nationality of these people that have been arrested. But I would actually argue that there are people that come outside of the country and these people are helped by South Africans to commit these crimes. It's insane. Guys, please tell me what you think on the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part is subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.